NorCal. 209 King of Comedy. It's Rick without the K. James presents, in my opinion, podcast. Jump topics now.
Okay.
And just because you just brought up having a daughter or whatever, thank God I don't.
Got
But
all
I was
boys.
thinking about it. I was listening to.
I've met some daughters.
Is it Kevin Samuels? I think. Shout out to Kevin Samuels.
Right.
He talks about this dude's just a bad motherfucker, right? But he talks about OnlyFans pages, right?
Right.
Is it OnlyFans? Am I saying that right?
OnlyFans, yeah.
Don't act like you don't know
like
what it is, by the way.
subscriptions
OnlyFans.
yourself,
OnlyFans.com. Am I getting it right?
Right, am I
Because
getting it
again,
right? He's got a shirt
I've got my
underneath.
own, and it's called
Is
an
it porn?
OnlyFans page.
PORN,
Okay?
I
It's an
believe it's
OnlyFans page. But so OnlyFans page, and he goes on to tell a couple of females on his little podcast or whatever that, well, what's your plan after this?
Right.
And they got upset and they walked off or whatever, and he talks about it. He's talking about it on Vlad TV, where my thing is for entertainers. We try to, I'm gonna clip this up. I'm gonna put this out. I'm gonna put it on TikTok. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I'm gonna do this. Where I keep telling people, if I just had a set of tits, man, I would have already blown up. So it is, yeah.
You have a set of tits.
You do, bro. And I ain't gonna
They're
lie,
nipples,
them motherfuckers
motherfucker.
is succulent.
I do too.
Succulent.
Not working.
Succulent with 3 C's.
So my point is one, if you had a daughter, would you allow her to have a OnlyFans? And two, if you met a girl and about a month into it, you found out she made a living off of an OnlyFans page, would that change the way you thought of her?
My perspective of it.
Yeah.
How do we know? We don't have a daughter.
Good point.
How are we supposed to even? How are we supposed to even relate to that? I have no idea what it would be like to have a daughter.
He's all, I can't even raise a dog.
Well, look. I have a sister. Okay. And that's not my daughter. Obviously.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually the closest thing that we can.
I'm trying to put myself in.
Yeah, you have to.
In the nearest headspace.
Okay.
If my sister were to be on an OnlyFans, I would have a lot of concerns. I wouldn't write her off immediately, but I would have a lot of concerns. My number one concern would be not how she's going to make money, because clearly she cracked that code. Because bitches are getting paid on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fact. We all know that. So they're getting the money thing worked out. But my concern would be, are they fulfilled in other areas of their life? Because too many times, from my experience as a dude who's fucked with a lot of broken bitches, too many times when a woman uses her body, just like when a man uses his brawn and nothing else, it usually indicates that they're missing something in their life. There's a void that has to be filled. Now, I'm not a fucking therapist, so I cannot give you data to prove this. I'm just talking about as a man who's fucked with a lot of women, broken women, good women, and I've had a chance to compare the two. It's very similar to when you have a young man who all he wants to do is fight and beat people up. It's because the motherfucker's missing something. He's lacking. So if I saw my sister, AKA, maybe my daughter in the future, and she was going in this way, I would say to myself, damn, I'm concerned, because I think that my daughter is missing something in her life that's going to later on come back to bite her in the ass. So I would for sure be worried about that. Now, if I came to her and I asked her about it and she showed me some sort of level of maturity and some sort of level of control, then at that point I'd have to leave it in her hands. And I'd say, all right, well, I have no choice but to trust you at some point. You've done your best to show me that I should trust you, and therefore I will.
Good answer.
But I think the point that he was getting at is the leverage. He goes, it's nice to make the money that you're making off of this.
Sure.
He goes, but what is your end game? He goes, because more than likely you're sitting here, you're spending the money as it comes in, and you're making good money. But
How are they spending
More
the
than
money?
likely. Wait. Back it up.
Well, how are they spending the money when it's coming in?
Right, because that
They might be
statement right
saving.
there is already problematic. What do you mean more than likely? Are you asking them what they're doing with their money, or are you just assuming to make your point?
He was getting at it and that's why they got pissed off
Right.
and walked away.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
His whole point was, if you're taking your money, making good money doing this, and you're investing it in something else, because at some point you're going to stop being that fine bitch. You know what I mean?
course.
At
Well,
some point you're going to have to
Let's call them women
have
here
some
real
kind.
quick.
What?
AGT, calm down.
They're women.
But I will say, no. Well, I would say, you want Shani?
Yeah, let's do it.
The thing about that's a really good question, by the way. I could never sit here and tell you I'd be okay with my daughter being on OnlyFans, but I could tell you that
You're on a bunch of pages.
At the end of the day, dude, like, I don't know. When did they start the OnlyFans pages? Like 21?
I think you got to be at least 18.
You gotta be 18.
And I'm not saying that because I've
She's
read the
working
fine
till
print.
what? I mean, I know 38 and 39 and 40-year-olds with those. So that's a 22-year-old career. That's a 22-year-old
You might fuck around and retire off that shit.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
That's
So
like
what's the
the
problem?
Navy.
I don't
If you
really
look-
I mean, he brought up like Jenna Jameson, even though those are two different arenas.
No,
but he was
yeah.
what
Slightly different.
Kevin Samuel, and I'm familiar with Kevin Samuel's work, what he wants to do is he wants to put, because he's a provocateur, what Kevin Samuels wants to do is put women in a position where they seem like they're abandoning their integrity because they use their body to make money. And I don't agree with that 100%.
At all.
I don't
Man,
there's
you want me just to cut that little part out and just loop it so you can try to get laid?
No, but I'm not.
No, because-
why would he? Why would
So-
go ahead.
No,
sorry.
because it's absolutely true. I mean, there's a lot of women out there that understand the economics of the world, and they say to themselves, well, if these motherfuckers want to give me money to see my titties, then I'll give it to them. But if they turn around and use that money responsibly and intelligently,
Like
who the fuck am I?
Give an example.
No,
Like,
here's
shout
an
out.
example.
I don't know, dog. I mean, I don't know.
Forget the example. Who cares what they use the money for? They've earned it.
No,
It's their
I
money.
meant the example of the OnlyFans page.
Yeah, but if you're doing OnlyFans,
I just want to shout out somebody
and
with.
if they make like 40 grand a year, I mean, I don't care what they use the money for. They've earned it. They can
Oh,
do
some of
whatever
these
they want
bitches
with
is
it.
making some good money, bro.
No, I assure you
and
they
I
are.
get it.
No, but
I think I tell people I'm glad. I think God made me a man for a reason,
Thank you,
because He knew if I woke up with a vagina, boy, every
using
morning
that
I'd be
shit.
like, "What are we gonna go get today?"
You be clapping that shit.
Oh,
Dude, I'd be
man.
blowing people in the park for $40.
My pussy would get me a helicopter to my private jet, to
Right.
my private fucking island.
But here's
to
the thing though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, Rick. If this is the way I equate it. If you're a woman who's using her body and her pussy to get everything that you want, and there's no real fulfillment or no real substance behind what you're doing, you are no different than a man who has a shit ton of money, but yet has no like substance, no depth, and is just throwing his money around because he can. But you are just
talk
as
about
empty.
Jeff Bezos
You
like
are
that.
just as empty.
But Rudy, though, how do we just assume these women are empty though? We have no idea what kind of fulfillment
That-
that.
but
And
that's
maybe
what-
they don't
Yeah,
even want to
'cause
tell
they're
us.
usually
Too. Like,
full.
we don't know. We don't care.
But that's why I prefaced it by
Yeah.
saying if
Yeah.
you are a woman who has no substance and is only using your body to get attention to fill some sort of void
Rent.
that is unfillable.
Rent's a void.
Sure, but even a
It's also
woman,
mandatory.
but even a woman who is a woman or a man for that matter who's using their body to get money to pay the rent, I respect that. There's something of substance there.
You say you respect that?
I do.
Well, okay,
It's-
but-
because you might be in a
Okay, hold on.
you might be in a
Why
situation
not?
though.
Why would you not respect that? Who cares? Do you want to work? You want to tell somebody that can make 80 to 90 grand in their own apartment, working 3 hours a day on OnlyFans to go work at Burger King for $8 an hour when we don't raise the minimum wage? We're forcing these people into doing
Depends
this.
upon
I don't know,
what kind
who
of
are we to
values and
tell
morals
somebody
they were raised with.
morals? Who gives a shit about morals?
I mean, yeah.
I don't.
Go call
Goddamn.
Verizon and tell them that I,
I mean,
got
you're the last
300
motherfucker
morals
talking about
for your
morals.
fucking. Come on, please.
Dude, no, but
Out of your mind.
You know the thing is that I feel like you're speaking in the spirit of a Kevin Samuels who is a provocateur, and this dude is always constantly trying to put women in a bad light. And all I'm trying to shed light on is the fact that people constantly are trying to come up with quick ways of making money. The difference that the way that you can tell the difference between somebody who's doing the right thing and doing the wrong thing is if somebody actually has like some integrity in what they're doing. Like if they actually are doing it because they're fulfilling some parts of their life that are gonna help them in the long run. If you're just doing this shit because you're a broken person and you don't have anything going on the inside, you don't have any substance, that's a problem.
I don't think there's a lot of those though. I think they're literally doing it for money.
You know what?
to
You
pay
know what,
rent.
Kabir? That's where we disagree. I think that
I mean-
you're telling me that a lot of these women out there,
They're doing it for
Well, I'm not
a
telling
lot
you.
of men and women, because the only thing
I'm telling
that
you,
a
I
man-
don't know.
Well,
we can't just assume.
You're right, but I'm gonna give you a guess. I'm not gonna assume. I'm gonna guess. Okay. Number one, I'm gonna equate the power of a woman's sexuality with the power of man and his money. That's in my mind. Those are the two things that are the closest to each other. But so if a woman walks around just tossing her titties and her ass around, as much as I enjoy it, and if a dude walks around just throwing his money around to show how big and bad he is, as much as I enjoy it,
He's terrible too.
they're both just as empty.
Okay, but
if they have this constant void that they can't fill,
I'd
they're
lean
both
more
just
that
as
the
empty.
guy is empty because I would never throw money at anybody.
Unless
Maybe
you're at
that's
a
the
strip club.
Indian in me, but I would never do that. I think she really just maybe wants that money or needs it. Well, you know, it's such a hard question to answer, but you can't just assume all these women that are on. And I know you're not.
I'm not assuming that all of them
100% you're not, and I believe that. Yeah, I agree with you. But
because I said
I'm almost
earlier,
100% sure. I was dating a girl that was a webcam model like 4 years ago. I dated
Okay.
her from Las Vegas for a year and a half. A year. And she was making, you know, as much money I was, and she was doing nothing.
right?
Was she broke? No, she's fine. Parents loved her. Parents didn't know about it. She told me about it. I don't care. Have a good time. I'll
That
be in the
exists.
closet. You know,
So if there's any OnlyFans women out there, can you come on the show and discuss your side? Because I want to know, is it really
there's no
fucking
side.
worth it?
We are the
Is it-
idiots handing
is
the
it-
money for webcam.
Is it
shit
really
that's free.
fucking worth it?
Let them make the money.
Like Kabir said, I want to know how many of them are hiding that lifestyle.
Probably a few of them because they're probably embarrassed about it.
No,
I mean,
there's a tremendous amount of them probably just has 2 kids and they
Right.
have to pay their fucking
I can tell
rent.
you what my
I
rent
guarantee
costs,
you there's
you can
more of
pay
them
it.
than the other ones.
just like there's dudes out there that have a shit ton of money and they go to the strip club all the time because they got no game, so they got to fuck around and pay to get some titties in their face.
Yeah.
And they probably keep it a secret too, because they're like, I love titties, but I also love, you know, I don't want to be embarrassed, so I'm just gonna sit here and do it secretly. I'm sure a lot of women do that too. How much porn have you watched? And I watched a lot of porn, but how much porn have you watched where
Today?
it's like? Not today. I haven't had time, and also my left thumb hurts from the carpal. But how much porn have you watched where it's like women are actually having sex on camera, but they don't show their face? It's there's a level
Yeah,
of
noface.com.
there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's
Is
a
there a thing
reason
called
why.
noface.com?
Yeah,
There's a
You
reason
should
why they're
watch
not
it.
putting it out there.
That's hot.
yeah.
Super hot, bro.
Her body is, but I
My,
don't know.
my dream is that they'll pan up to her face and she'll be wearing like a lucha libre mask, and I'll be like, "Oh, this bitch had me."
I've been jacking off to Rey Mysterio Jr.
the whole
for a
time.
month.
The whole time. But I appreciate your question though, especially you bringing up Kevin Samuels because he is a provocateur.
Who the fuck is Kevin Samuels?
You'll
You gotta watch
you'll
this
know.
dude, man.
You'll know.
I already don't like him.
because
Right.
Was he white?
no
black dude.
Republican?
He's a black dude,
He's a black
well
dude,
dressed,
Is he
well
Republican?
spoken, probably a Republican, very
Well,
conservative.
how do we know him? How do you guys know him? Sorry.
He's a guy who does a lot of
YouTube?
Yeah.
a lot of YouTube stuff, but a lot of public speaking when it comes to women and men's dynamic.
Who the fuck is he?
Yeah,
He's a guy that a lot of people are listening to. Believe
Well,
me.
that's
yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah.
And that's why Rick brought him up.
Boy Charlie Murphy, my main man Ric James. That's the one you think, the comedian Ric James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying, I can't breathe.
Please hit the subscribe button down low so you can see all new clips, all new episodes coming to you.